All right, guys. Welcome to a Monday edition of Good Stuff. We've got Eric, Zach, and myself, James. Um, I think today let's chat about some big news in the CrossFit space. There was some circulation of, actually not even circulation. I think it's official that CrossFit Games will not be in Madison this year, which breaks a ton of hearts, especially if you live in Chicago like me.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. That's pretty
That's
close.
how
How
close you
how
are.
how
Yep.
quick of a drive is that for you?
2 hours, hour and a
Oh,
half
that's
if
that's
my
not
wife's
bad at
driving.
all. Yeah. Nice. Yeah,
So
it's
what
moving
what
back
changes
west.
here?
Well, so I think what they're trying to do is make it still have an in-person competition with no spectators at Aromas at the original location of the games, the ranch in Aromas. Um, and I
And it
think
hasn't
they're
been
going to
held there in how long?
I think the last time, well, they did in 2000, I want to say 17 or 18, they did one of the events there,
Yeah.
or a few of the events there, but I don't think, I think 2009 was the last year that it was actually held fully at Aromas.
Before it went to
Um,
Carson.
yeah, before it went to then the Home Depot Center StubHub. Yeah, Carson.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think what they're going to do, and I think this is probably their best option, is to still hold an in-person competition if it's feasible with just athletes, judges, and a limited media crew so that they can still broadcast everything. Obviously, like logistics and equipment will be on site as well. But I they did post that the other option would be to make a virtual competition, and I think that would be rather
Ooh.
lackluster. Yeah.
Yeah, it's already going to be a hit coming on the tail end of the amount of hits that the games took last year. This is just another frustrating point for all of them, I'm sure, athletes, coaches, and of course, spectators, the affiliate.
Yeah, definitely. I think either way, it'll be an enjoyable event to watch, competition to watch. I think people consistently underestimate um, Dave. I think Dave Castro does an excellent job. He's very good at adapting to scenarios and situations and making good calls with the information. I think a lot of people don't. I mean, obviously, they don't get the information that Dave gets
Right.
about
And
a given scenario.
he's good about being really cryptic about not
He is.
releasing much details.
Oh yeah, I mean he does that. I
Um,
mean he's developed into a showman, but like I think people don't realize how much work goes into it, and Dave just does such a good job at making it look effortless
It's
that
seamless. Yeah.
and seamless that people think, oh, it must be easy.
right,
No, Dave's
right.
just that good at running that event. So I mean, obviously he has an entire support crew behind him, but that is tremendous. But I think if it's at Aromas, an in-person competition will still be something amazing to watch.
Do you think, because with the new format, isn't there a lot more competitors at the CrossFit Games?
Yeah.
Do you think Aromas will be able to handle that, or do they modify like teams or
Well,
limit?
so I mean, the last year that they were at Aromas, they had individual competitors that I want to say numbered into close to 200. It was like 100, or maybe it was, I don't know. I think it was right under 200 because it was close to like 80 or 100 of each male and female. And then they also had teams. They didn't have masters at that point. Um, and it was well run and it was organized, and they did it seamlessly in that year. I think we're looking at probably close to double that amount of athletes now, including masters and teens. So I think we're looking at probably close to 400 to 500 competitors. I'm not exactly sure.
And then you got to factor in staff and judges and event
Right.
Yep.
coordinators. And
Right.
I
Media
mean, this
and
still becomes a
medical and
massive production, even more
Yes,
so.
regardless. Yeah.
absolutely. I do think that you need less of a staff just because you don't need people corralling spectators.
Right. You don't need vendor
Yeah.
staff and
And they're not going to have vendors.
right.
So I think Aromas, I mean, that property, the ranch is large enough for all the people. I'm just curious as to how they're going to
Where are they going to
bring
stay?
variance. Well, yeah, that's one thing is like there's
Just
the
the
nearest hotel.
infrastructure.
Yeah,
Right.
the hotel is I think 45 or 30 minutes away.
That's crazy.
And
Yeah,
I'm
'cause you have
curious
to-
as
you
to
look-
the events.
Yeah, you look at events aside, which I think is the exciting part of the discussion about returning to Aromas, is the logistics of just moving personnel from where they are recovering between events. Obviously, they can have
Right.
a huge tent on property or on an adjacent property that's rented, but then where are the athletes going to end up staying, sleeping, and then accounting for travel time back and forth? I mean, there's so much more that goes into these events than people even think about.
And that's the thing. If they do have it, I mean, you think about how much money they spend at the games. They're going to be saving a tremendous. They won't be taking in any spectator money, but like they'll have a budget. They could build an entire other couple buildings with the amount of money that they're saving on that property. One for like athlete recovery. They might build like a barracks, a temporary barracks. No, they wouldn't do that. It's too close quarters.
About,
People
the
be breathing on
athlete
each other.
Like I've never personally been in the CrossFit Games, but how does the change in venue and the lack of
Spectators?
spectators, like alter or change the experience as a competitor?
It's not going to change. Eric will probably understand this too. It's not going to change it for the top people. It'll change it for the people that are coming from, that got to the games through a country with far less competition or non-experienced competitors, probably.
Right.
First
Folks
time,
first timers or first time teams that are like hyped up and amped up, and they get there and it's just teams and just the competition, and they don't have that mental fortitude to be there for business. They're there for the show or the experience.
Yeah, exactly. But for the top ones, I don't think you're going to see much change. I'm wondering if I'm just trying to, now I'm thinking about the programming in the events. I'm wondering if they're willing to go to the coast like they have in the past for a swim event.
They're going to have to, not they're going to have to, but if Dave wants to have the show fully stocked with the amount of variety or variance and creativity, it's going to have to extend off the property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're just going to do a lot of running.
Just a ton more wrecking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Which is feasible. Either way, I think, yes, everybody wants the big show in Madison. It's our Olympics. It's our highlight. It's for the community at large. It's the highlight of the year. But I wouldn't worry about not having a good show as long as Dave is running it. I think he does an excellent job.
So
agreed. Yeah.
The games aren't that far away. End of July, right? Do you think that's enough time?
I'm not sure actually if they announced. They did announce gates. I'm not sure if they changed the dates or if I don't have it pulled up. But
last I saw was July 29th to August 2nd.
So end of July.
Hot.
Oof. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You better go find some trees to hide under. Do you think that's enough time to, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we don't know what the progression of reopening, business and events, specifically events, what that process is and what limitations there might be. Do you think that's enough time that there, we can kind of jump through these different stages of reopening to have a successful event?
I think so. And moreover, I think they're building both at the exact same time because they're going to be forced to pivot to digital or virtual within the next, once the federal guidelines are released, then it's going to come down to Newsom and his decisions. And then it's going to fall down to whatever county Aromas and the surrounding counties that they might want to extend operations to. They could be told yes at the federal level, maybe even yes at the state level, but a problem at the county level might force their hand to go digital. So they're going to have to build both at the exact same time so that if they're pouring energy and effort into the real piece, and then all of a sudden they get told no at the last minute, then they got to rebuild it for the digital piece, which is like, he's got to be building two games at the exact same time so he can pivot on a dime.
Yeah, man, that's That's a tall order.
Yeah. I mean, my real hope is that if the federal mandate comes down and we see like this week, there's like 18 states that are quote unquote opening back up. If California drags its feet and doesn't open back up for, I don't know, 30 more days, 45 more days, 60 more days, that's going to have an effect on Dave's decision-making process.
Right. You can't wait until the week before to figure out which route you're going to take.
Right.
Yeah. I'll tell you this much. I'm excited to buy my CrossFit Games mask. I feel like that's going to be the new norm.
CFG.
Yeah, just right over your
print
face.
it all over it.
I'm not accepting the new normal.
Like those elevation masks.
Oh,
well,
God,
I mean, both you guys in the military. I'm sure you guys have had enough time and some gear over your face.
NBC days.
Yeah. We'll go grocery shopping or go to Target or whatever, and Caitlin's like, "Hey, do you feel weird because everybody else is wearing masks and we're not?" I'm just like, "No, I don't. Like, I don't want to. I don't want to be wearing a mask. But it is becoming the new normal, even though there's no state. There's like that recommendation, but there's no like mandate. Everybody's wearing those things.
Some cities are mandating it. I don't know what kind of repercussions or how they're enforcing that, but
our county is, and we've seen an uptick in local law enforcement presence, even at places like Target and Albertsons, and all the different locations. And there's just
to make sure people are wearing them.
Yeah, and they don't allow you entry into the facilities.
But think of the branding possibilities. You have a logo or something across your face. Every picture you take. Well, I mean, there's not going to be spectators there, but hey, man, I think as
make the athletes wear masks
become more of like a fashion statement, like it's going to catch on, man.
Nah, I don't buy the new normal. No, not me.
I'm right there.
Oh,
I'm gonna do it.
You could, I'll buy them. I'll support.
I'll have them here for you guys waiting. So you guys can go grocery shopping.
Right on.
At some point, Zach's gonna run out of bacon, so.
Yeah, I'm getting awfully close, and they're limiting only 2 packages per customer.
Oh yeah, there's a pork shortage. There's a possible pork shortage.
Yep.
Well, we'll discuss that tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll have
anything else you want to touch on about the games?
No.
I just don't want people. I think people should stay optimistic about the event. And if they had tickets, I can totally see someone being bummed like they're not going to be able to go in person. But we can still celebrate for what it is, a celebration of our top athletes and a demonstration of what our people can do.
Right. Agreed. Yep. And for those that never ever took the trip to Madison or took the trip to Home Depot Center, StubHub, they're still going to watch it on TV anyway, so their experience doesn't change.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yep.
Right on. Cool, man.
Points,
I got a jam. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for the discussion, guys.
All right.
Catch you guys tomorrow.